Hi, and welcome to another Hanaz Writers Podcast. My name's Charlotte, and I work as a Year 2 teacher in a primary school in London. If you haven't heard any of Hanaz Writers podcasts before, then have a listen on their podcast channels. They have one on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, YouTube, and Spotify. You can search for Hanaz Writers podcasts on any of these websites, and you can then start listening to them as they are all available there. So on Saturday, the 5th of July, it is Alice in Wonderland Day. And this day is an annual celebration of the iconic story Alice in Wonderland. Now, this date was chosen to commemorate the afternoon on the 4th of July in 1862, when the Christchurch mathematician Charles Dodgson took the Dean of Christchurch daughters, Lorena, Alice and Edith Liddell, and he took them on a boat trip from the Folly Bridge to Godstow in Oxford, and they stopped to have a picnic on that day. While they were sitting and eating their food, the girls asked him for a story. And so he invented a tale about a girl called Alice who had these amazing and fantastic adventures. They then asked him to write the story down on paper, so he did, and he soon got it published, and it was called at that time Alice's Adventures Underground. And he got it published in 1864, and he used his pen name Lewis Carroll at the time, and he got John Tenniel to do the illustrations and the drawings, pictures for the book. So this year, in the UK, in the town of Oxford, they are going to celebrate the creation of the story Alice in Wonderland. And they're going to do it by having and holding many different events throughout the day on Saturday the 5th of July. Now, the Story Museum has said that the return of Alice's Day will transform Oxford into a wonderland. And this year's festival, they will follow the theme of quests and adventures. Now, the Story Museum will offer half-price entry into its interactive galleries for that weekend as well. So if you're interested, if you live near Oxford and you want to go and join in, it's very highly recommended. Get to the Story Museum. You can book your tickets online as well. It's half-price entry. Maybe you could take the kids out for the day. It'll be a nice afternoon or day if you make it a whole day trip. So the Story Museum's head of creative program, Mania Enayat, has said that we are incredibly excited to reveal another unforgettable Alice's Day. We are especially pleased to reveal the new interactive board game, which was made by our young Story Curators, a team of budding designers who are aged 11 to 16 and working with the Story Museum to develop their skills in immersive exhibitions in weekly after-school sessions during term time. So that's really great. The Story Museum has taken the time to invite children between the ages of 11 to 16 to come and work together to create a new interactive board game based on Alice in Wonderland, based on the story, based on the creatures probably in the story and the characters, probably based on the different rules and things that happen in Alice in Wonderland as well, because sometimes the rules don't apply. So this means that visitors who go to the Story Museum on the day will have a chance to play the game, and it's called Snarks and Riddles. And it's actually a life-size board game. So if you remember the story of Alice in Wonderland, they play a game of chess and they use real-life pieces in the story. So they've created their own Snarks and Riddles, which kind of sounds like Snakes and Ladders, but it's based on real-life people probably taking part. So yeah, if you're interested and you want to get involved and you want to have a go at the game, go to the Story Museum on that day. So the museum's magic common room as well will be transformed so it can host a giant Wonderland afternoon tea. And they'll be making cakes and sandwiches and different kinds of savoury foods following the Alice in Wonderland theme. So again, if you're spending the day out there, why not stop by the museum go for lunch or tea and join in. It'll probably be great, and you get some interesting food as well. And probably maybe a little show of people are dressed up as characters as well. It'll also be a fun day. So Amania also says that we are incredibly grateful to our partners who have worked so hard to make this day special. I can't think of many children's stories that have influenced art, fashion, food, and film the way that Alice in Wonderland has. And it's wonderful to think that it all originated and started here in Oxford. So, visitors to Oxford, if you're also going on that day or that weekend, you'll also have the chance to see different things happening around the town. So, they have a Red Queen procession, a life size pack of cards, and even Alice herself, who's going to be chasing the White Rabbit. And they're all performed by the Curious Company. It'll be taking place on that Saturday, the 5th of July this year, down Oxford High Street. So, again, you get a show and you get to see interesting stuff and performances. So, why not go and visit? Many other venues are also taking part, including the Bodleian Libraries, the Museum of Oxford, the History of Science Museum, the Lewis Carroll Society will be taking part for sure. Oxford Water Walks, the Oxford Children's Book Group, and a shop called Alice's Shop. So there must be one there already. Now, each of one of these places will be hosting their own special events, and they have products, of course, related to the story Alice in Wonderland for sale. So Christchurch, which was once home to Alice Liddell, she was daughter of the Dean of Christchurch. They will also be hosting a croquet game in the Masters Garden in partnership with the Ensham Croquet Club. So if you fancy a game of croquet, again, another game that was featured heavily in the story of Alice in Wonderland, then why not stop at Christchurch and join in the fun there as well? There will also be a talk given by Philip Roberts about the magic lantern, which is a 19th century storytelling device used by travelling entertainers. This event will also include a performance of Lewis Carroll slides, recently acquired by the Christchurch Library. So if you're interested and you want to get involved, then why not plan a visit to Oxford for that weekend, for Saturday, July the 5th, and you can join in with all the festivities. Maybe if you have your children and they're old enough to dress up, they can dress up as Alice in Wonderland, or any characters from the story, really, and just join in the fun. That's all for this podcast, and I hope that you can join in on the Alice in Wonderland Day. Even if you're not going to Oxford, you can join in London as well. There might be some events happening that weekend, so do keep a lookout. If you do join in, then why not share them on social media and include your hashtags, hashtag Alice in Wonderland, hashtag Alice in Wonderland 2000, hashtag Alice in Wonderland Day 2025, hashtag Alice in Wonderland, and just share all the things that you're going to be doing for the day. Thank you very much for listening. If you enjoy this podcast and you'd like to listen to more, then you can listen to them on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, YouTube, and Spotify. Remember to like and subscribe to Hanaz Writers. And if you're also interested in becoming a writer or an author yourself, visit Hanaz Writers websites and sign up. You can write your own stories, your own blogs, and more. And if you need help and support with your writing, they also have some skilled writers who can help improve your writing with you. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, bye!